You are now tuned into the Wake the Flock Up Network.
Wake the fuck up, wake the fuck up, wake the fuck up, everybody wake the fuck up. From the city to the burbs, every street, every curve, you can block what you heard, that's the cure. Wake the fuck up, wake the fuck up, wake the fuck up, wake the fuck up, everybody wake the fuck up. From the city to the burbs, every street, every curve, you can block what you heard, that's the cure. Wake the fuck up, wake the fuck up, wake the fuck up, wake the fuck up, everybody wake the fuck up.
Hey, thanks, y'all. Thanks, Scotty. Yeah, bro. Take care, man. You too. Bless up, bro.
How you been, man?
I've been good.
It's been a minute, bro.
Yeah, man.
It's been a minute. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Give me a mic check.
Check.
Keep going.
Microphone check. 1, 2. What is it? Example with the roughneck bastard. Never have a cavity. Count more rhymes than the songs.
Is that an exclusive?
No, that was a bugging out. that I've destroyed right now.
A couple things, Raz. A couple things. Okay, man, I'm trying to get my head straight to see which one I want to complain about first. There's nothing worse than a bad bartender. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you've been like driving and shit, you know? So I went downstairs and I got here early, so I text Riley. I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna kick it at the bar. He's like, yeah, we got some shit up. All right, cool. There's nothing worse than like unattentive.
Oh, that's the word.
And just like she clearly doesn't give a fuck.
Right.
And she's letting you know, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care right now. You know?
That's very true.
And it's just like, because a bartender feels like one of those sacred, like,
right.
Almost
I'm
like
thirsty.
Like a priest, like almost. I don't want to make it too sitcom-y, but it's like, hey man, you know, like here's a beer, like how you doing? Like there's a certain vibe I feel that we don't have anymore. You're a man that enjoys a drink every once in a while.
Yes, sir.
But what, you had bad experiences with bartenders?
I've actually spoken to the bartender and said, hey, I really feel like you're being rude. Like, I'll tell you.
Did you? Hey man, listen.
I was at a spot, and then I told her that because she was rude.
Yeah. Oh, female too.
Yeah, I thought she was very rude, and then I tipped her fairly well as a reminder not to.
And it's almost like a fuck you, right?
Yeah.
Take $5 because you obviously need it or something's wrong in your day or something.
Yeah.
Right?
I forgot how I did it, but I feel like I tipped her definitely more than $5. Like,
yeah.
Because I think I probably ordered around 4 people, so I gave her a substantial tip. Yeah. And just said like, you know, but first I told her how I felt, and she said something. I was like, that has nothing to do with me. We're patrons, we're guests. Yeah. And be attentive.
But I feel they don't learn if you tip them still.
No, because the whole point is I didn't go back. So now you lost. I won't be here again. Yeah. Like I would have tipped you. Are you the kind? I would have tipped you nice consistently. We could have had a rapport. Yeah. And you know, whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, our money. What we don't realize is it's power. Mm-hmm. So that's why when you boycott shit, like
it's so funny you say that because there's all this stuff that's coming up about, especially with the new immigration laws that just passed, I think today or yesterday, right? Yeah. Where like you have to make a certain amount to even be considered for legal immigration. He's not just doing illegal immigration. He's fucking with legal immigration now. He's making it more difficult for legal means.
Yeah, but you know there's loopholes to all that. What he's really trying to do is make as many hoes as possible for brown and black people.
I don't even think it's that. I honestly don't think...
The same thing he was complaining about is how his wife's parents became citizens.
There's a whole thing. You got to see the Daily Show.
He's a fucking hypocrite.
They break it down how
he's a fucking liar.
Under those rules, his wife would be deported.
Exactly.
But outside of that, let me say, I don't think...
Because she has no job.
Do you honestly... Do you think it's do you think he's racist? Do you think he himself is a racist? Yeah. Or do you... I think it's this. I think, yes, there's that. But I think he's appeasing his voters, right? Okay. At the very base. I don't think he goes out of his way to say, you know what, I hate black people. No, he goes, what do they want? whatever they say, that's what we're going for.
Trump had a history before, even when the New Yorkers were talking, rapping, I want to be like Trump. We all rap about things that are, that look lucrative.
Preposterous, right?
Well, lucrative. I want to have that kind of money.
Donald Trump money, Donald Trump cash.
I want Arab money. You remember that song? You know what I mean? Like, I want some oil money. I want some Saudi money too. But no, Trump has a history, bro. His father got arrested from running from a Klan meeting. The apple don't fall too far from the tree. That's facts.
Sure.
So Trump felt how he felt. He lived in New York. He probably would have got punched in the fucking mouth if he kept saying it a little too much. But then he did certain shit. They got sued for doing unfair housing practices to black, Puerto Rican.
And of course, the Central Five, we did the whole newspaper.
So Donald Trump is who he is. Okay. His wife is who she is. She has a feeling. Because nobody can sit around somebody for that long if they don't share the same feelings.
But let's do this, Ras, because I'm tired of hearing this. This conversation happens, and it seems like it never goes anywhere, right? Like we always complain about it, so like we should do this and this should happen, but we never get to it, right? But you're a man of action, Ras. Let's back up a little bit before we get into that. Let's get back to it. So on Ice.
Okay.
1996.
Yes, sir.
Right. The Bulls are killing it. Right? The Bulls are doing their thing. Pokemon is released.
They're hurting the Lakers.
In 1996. Jordan's dominating, doing his thing right mid-season. So on Ice drops.
Okay.
So we're talking about cultural things that happen, right? So in this new thing, this hip hop that's developing and it's evolving and developing, you have artists that develop on the East Coast. You got Nas's, your Cool G Raps, and they're almost like nurturing it over there, right? Cool G Rap, Rakim, they're like, this is what it's gonna be, this is what it's gonna be. And the West Coast takes it, makes a left, and it's like, oh, it's laid back, it's lean back, it's this, it's that. Ras comes in and he goes, no, it's just as lyrical as the East Coast, if not more so.
Right.
And for reasons that I feel the West Coast has always been known for, your NWAs, they were talking that, but not in that style, right?
Right.
When did you know that it was a memorable album, like an album that was gonna be in the chapter of hip hop? Like, when did you realize that happened?
I didn't really realize anything. I was too. Let me first of all let me tell you where I was at. My homeboy, I don't want to live in the past too much, but I will say this: I was in a bad production deal with somebody I knew. I had interest from major labels. I had the Source magazine, which was at the time the hip hop Bible.
Right.
It was the word, the end all be all. Yeah. And so I had my homeboys, and now that there was money coming into the situation, it was seeming like my homeboys' eyes got big. Like they're seeing the money and they'll realize like, yo, man, like got me in a bad production deal. This is all bad. We shouldn't even roll like this. Why don't we make these other plans and readjust, whatever. But the Source is saying, because they've heard Nature the Threat and they've heard 50, 60% of the album, like what we gave
before the release of the album.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because back then you had to do.
You send it out.
Yeah, you had to give out 90 days. So 3 months before your album release, you would have to give out the album so that by when it came out, you would make the press date. So it would line up with when your album came out. Yeah. So I knew I had something to a certain degree special after I wrote Nature the Threat. I sent it to my mother and she cried, or so, just like, this is important. I didn't realize how important it was. I wrote it for myself. For me, I'm always I'm in my own brain. I'm not like really paying attention to what the rest of the world is doing, which could be good and it could be it could work against me. But yeah, I think when the Source started, they were seriously considering giving me 6 mics before I negotiated and got the deal. But I almost got 6 mics in the Source. But that would have been in like late 94, early 95. I ended up negotiating to a major label, and my record didn't come out for another year. So my album didn't come out until.
So that's why they didn't give it. They gave it.
By then they heard it. It was older. Oh, you understand what I'm saying? you know, things are fresh and new to people when they're fresh and new. And then if they don't see that result, you know, it took me like a year.
So hearing that,
like 14 months for that album to come out. So by then, things had changed a little bit. You got to remember, Wu-Tang Wu-Tang came out in '94. Everything's grimy, and somewhere around '95, even the really hip hop stuff got very sonic. Like, you know, the digging in the crates, just crispy drums, which I love it. Tribe Called Quest, everything got extremely sonic hip hop. Even, you know, they weren't sampling records. They were like buying DVDs or whatever, like some CDs. Like, everything got really a better mixes. And for me, my record still, for the most part, sounded reminiscent of that time period prior to. I had missed my window of opportunity for it to be fresh and new, because the people that had to reviewed it from the standpoint of, oh, well, this was supposed to come out a year and a half ago and it really didn't. And there's some new stuff on it, but you know, whatever, we're moving on. And so, you know, it is what it is. I mean, everything happens for a reason, but, you know, timing is everything.
But let's talk back and say when you got the news that they were going to give it the 6 mics, right? Something like Ras.
That's
do you
when
think that this is six mics worthy? Would you be the first?
I would have been the only.
And the only to have ever been considered, or at least have officially been, hey, this is the guy that's going to get 6 mics, right? Yeah. What does that come back to a young Ras? Think back. What does that sound like? What is that?
No, I mean, it was validation that, I mean, bro, you know, Rick Rubin would come pick me up in a Bentley back then. Yeah. Like, it probably looked crazy. Like this big, heavy-set white guy with a beard looking like Santa Claus picking me up. This little black kid, you know. So for me, you know, I knew I put in the hard work. Yeah. I knew that my big homies saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And now the industry was starting to recognize that. I didn't feel like, my homies never recognized it. My girlfriend didn't recognize it. She liked me. She gave me her vagina, but she didn't like listen to my music. Sure. Yeah. My homies didn't listen to my music.
Just because they give it to you doesn't mean she likes you anyway.
Right, you know. So, you know, for me, it was just like, I think I'm special. Yeah. But I don't really relate to the common man as much as I'm trying to talk to my people. Yeah. And when I say my people, I mean California, LA, Southern California. They couldn't get it, and half the time, and the sad part was like the Bay got it, New York got it with me, and then industry MCs got it, producers got it. But even to this day, that's been, you know, I'm a critic's choice. I'm not the guy down the street's choice. I'm not the girl. I'm definitely not the girl down the street's choice. Now I might be the college graduate's choice. I might be the prisoner's choice. Like dudes in the pen, I'll be like, homie, I listen and. Because they had enough time to pay attention and they starting to learn and become more than what they were, because you got time to sit there and work on yourself. So
you can't be bumping certain shit in jail either, bro. You can't just be like, yeah, like, you know, it's like, come on, you gotta give a certain kind of rapport, right? Right. You can't be enjoying so you gotta sit there and be the lyrical shit, like, yeah, I get it.
You know, or the workout shit.
Sure. But you're not gonna be bumping.
Yeah, you're not gonna. I think I'm not gonna lie. I bought Britney Spears' album while I was in prison, and everybody gave me shit. They were just like, what are you doing?
I like to ask people
womanizer, you're a womanizer, you're a womanizer. That was a good record.
You know I'm filming this, right?
I gotta own it, man, if the shoe fits.
If I were to pick up your phone right now, Ras, and I'm flipping through it, what song would I be surprised Ras Kass is listening to? I'd be like, what is this? And you'd be like, bro, my shit.
I don't have.
Come on, you got a song
I don't keep a lot of phones.
that you bump and you know.
I don't have a lot of phones. Like I honestly don't keep a lot of songs in my phone.
Who would be surprised you fuck with though? That you dig? Like, yeah, bro, trust me, that's my shit.
I mean, I always admit to it. I love Duran Duran.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, they just got good taste. That's all that is. It's just good taste in music.
I love it.
See, that's the thing, Ras. You're practical, and you're right. You were telling the other people this. Okay, so here's the other thing I wanted to complain about, but then I took a minute and I took a breath.
Okay.
Right. It was like, oh, I don't know who you are, but I want to talk to you. And I'm like, dude, you don't know who the fuck Ras Kass is. And my thought was like, you know what? I'm good. Okay, good. I'm glad that he's getting to know a new artist. And my first thought was like, jump. Like, how dare you? You know, my second thought was like, okay, no. younger generation, younger thoughts, let him grow, let him find out for his thing. I'm sure he'll go home and Google and dive into that rabbit hole. But my first was like, come on, bro. What are we doing here? Who are we talking to? What's happening?
We live in a microwave society where everything's now. Yeah. It's important because it's important because everybody said it was important. And if not, then it's not important.
So you must get this a lot though, right? You must get heads that know you like 100%, know your albums, know the tracks. Then you must get dudes that are like, yo, my cousin put me on and like this, that, and the other.
It is my Achilles heel, man. But what am I gonna do? I gotta keep running. Yeah. But because I may never make. Look, bro, I had songs with Dr. Dre. I'm right before Eminem. Same sense of self-deprecation. I wrote with the same deprecation, and they said it wasn't marketable, and then M wrote with that self-deprecation. I'm an asshole, I'm fucked up, I wrote with that, and they said it wasn't marketable, and my bro, fucking out of here. Sells more records than everybody every fucking year, with albums from 5-10 years ago. So, there's a few things that can be going on there. One, skin color. Two, different machine. Maybe my machine didn't know how to market it. You understand what I'm saying?
For the time, too.
Right. Well, I'm just saying that was too far of a time difference. You know what I'm saying? I gave them Dr. Dre, and my company failed. Yeah. He had Dr. Dre and succeeded. They picked the right record. So, for me, I understand that every time somebody tells me what I do is undoable, somebody else proves to me it's doable. So M is kind of my proof, like, you're full of shit. You can't rhyme these kind of patterns, be lyrical.
And words that don't really seem to rhyme if I speak them, which is a thing you've mastered, Ras, from the beginning. That shouldn't rhyme, but in this scheme, it flows and it rhymes. And
then sometimes I'm just not rhyming at the end. I'm doing rhymes within rhymes. Yeah. Or rhymes within things that don't rhyme. Yeah. So it's not supposed to rhyme there. I wanted it to rhyme, in the middle, the third syllable and the seventh syllable. That's where it's going to rhyme. But for them, you can't be a lyrical black kid, but then, people like, Kendrick come along. So I'm always just like, I'm gonna stick to my guns because everybody keeps showing, every time some asshole tells me it can't be done, there's somebody who I'm acquainted with or who I've worked with in the past and I watch them kind of tweak it for their own, in their own way and be their own person and succeed with it. So it can be done. You can, and that's only, Coolio said this to me a long time ago. He said, Ras, it's really hard, and this is before the internet, and so now it's probably exponentially hard. It's hard to get their attention, but once you get their attention, they will swing for your dick. It'll be so hard for them to get off your dick because that's how people are. They're group thinkers, and and that hurts me to say it, but it's true. Everybody act like they was Nipsey's best friend now. Like, it's whack. Why would you go visit a man's store after he dead? Because now, I didn't really know the man. I didn't really know. I was watching somebody's tube, and I was just I was just like, that shit crazy. Like, I wasn't really up on the music, but now I see that the brother. Like, get out of here, bro. What are you?
Cornier. I don't know, disrespectful. If this man lost his life right here, let me take a selfie in front of this. My thought was the minute, what is you doing, bro? He died viciously. He was murdered, cold-blooded, right there. So let me take a selfie here? Get the fuck out of here. What are you doing?
It's just weird. It's all weird. And so me understanding how weird. But common sense ain't very common.
That's what I'm saying.
Practicality ain't practical. These people are weird and strange. And so my reality is, I know it can be done. There's no expiration date on this shit. Rick Ross came into this shit pretty old. So did a few other people.
What are we trying to get done, Ras? What are you talking about?
I call it my equity. I put 20 plus years. I really should be retiring. So I want enough money to retire. I want my $5 million liquid. And I want people to stop doing stupid rap lists and acting like I'm not one of the greatest. And I don't mean from the West. I mean from ever. I'm one of the greatest ever. So I'm fighting for that. And then one day I'll die. Yeah. And if I gotta be the dead dude that then everybody runs around and starts crying about, who gives a shit? I'll be dead, but my kids will get a lot of money. That's what I'm doing.
Unfortunately, I think that will happen, but I don't think that will be the only thing that happens, Raz. Because you happen to be this dude that comes back with consistent good work.
Well,
at the end of it, you can't deny the bars. You can't deny
I'm also
the love.
doing something else that nobody else has done.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to write an album.
I don't think you should worry too much about being a second thought after you die, because you're a thought now. Yeah. There's dudes that are like, yo, Ras Kass, like this. I grew up like
this. Yeah, but not enough. I'm in the minority.
Sure.
I need to grow my cult following, which I don't really want a cult. I just want people to appreciate, the time and work that I put in. I feel like my story is, everybody else gets a movie and how their shit was hard. My shit's been pretty much harder than every rap nigga that put a movie out. Because it's a little bit of their shit plus way more extra shit.
And this is going to sound really ask history, and I know you get this a lot during interviews because I've seen it happen, but I'm gonna tell you this, and people can back me up, right? I'll hold up like a top 50 list, right? It'll be like, if I was Ras Kass, I'd be pissed at this, bro. Like, I've said that and shit. Like, if I was the person, and this is the thing, then people get onto me like, well, what are you talking about? And then we get in specifics, and then they don't call me back ever. They don't text me back ever because I got my own opinions. But I tell them this: when we're talking about. It's not a top 5. Who's the best? I think it's more of like a Mount Olympus.
Right.
More of a Mount Olympus. That's the way we should be thinking about it. And I'm not sure who Suze is. Right. I'm not sure, but I know who I know these other cats. Dude, there's these people that we walk some ones, and there's still a lot of them are still alive with us, and some of them they're just statues now, right? Their place is cemented. But to go around saying that blank is the best to have ever done it, and then me off the top of my head being able to name like 5 dudes that are way better than this dude, what the fuck are we talking about here? Why are we pretending? Dude, he's never gonna call you and be like, oh, you said I was top 50, let's work together, fam.
But that's what they're doing.
Never is that Jay-Z is gonna text you.
They are trying, and that's what they're trying to do is associate themselves with a success that they themselves are probably too scared to ever try to shoot for. But that's what it is. It's dick riding. It's association. And so for me, I wrote that today. I said, top lists they're disingenuous. They're written by industry people half the time that knowingly know they're omitting people because they have political choices that they'd rather make. And then the rest of it is there's an inherent East Coast bias. Niggas start forgetting about Andre 3000, and they forget about, I actually tagged him today too. Mr. Fab is an incredible battle rapper freestyler. So it's lots of nice niggas here. It's just a lot around the. Jen was nasty. It's just, I tagged Sick Jacket. That nigga could rap his ass off.
Hey, come on now, it's Psycho Girl, bro. But see, this is the thing about when you go, who's the greatest? We're talking about, what are we talking about? We're talking about bars?
Right.
Then we just have the bars discussion. Are we talking about rocking the stage? And let's talk about that. Now, if you want to narrow down, see who's the best with all that combined, you're making it even smaller of a person that has both. Right. Who's a Busta Rhymes and a Rakim at the same, dude. It's this whole thing. But I think it's important to defend a Raz, and I think it's important to get shit for it, which I don't mind getting it. Is to be like, no, that is not right. There should be standards or limitations, or if we're gonna have if we're gonna have a culture. Cultures have like written histories, and they have like regulations and laws and rules, and that's a culture, right? Like, can we start respecting it and treating it as such, or are we all just gonna be like, it is what it is?
It's a cowboy,
What is happening, right? So when I look at the list, I'll look at certain placements of names, and then you kind of know where these do that, and then you'll see like Pac like 25th, right? And you're like, what is happening, right? Or Rakim's not even on there, or shit like that. You're like, who the fuck is Little Blank? Who the fuck is 27? What are you talking about? Right. But you don't have a Raz, or you don't have a Cool
Pharaoh Monch, or bro, I watched it. Pharaoh gets it. They finally blacked out because he bodied Funkmaster Flex all of a sudden.
But see, this is what I love. This is what I love. That you can have your Tekashis and your little who gives a shit, blah, blah, blah. And then you have Black Thought, like a seriously true real MC, just come in, like, just devour like the whole mic, and like with ease. Not even like, look, effortlessly. The man is effortlessly just flowing, spewing out the dopest rhymes anyone's heard in a while. And it's like, Oh, yes. Lyrics matter. They've been mattering, bro. Can we get back to talking about that?
Right.
So on Ice 2, though.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Barmageddon, Adidas.
Yes, sir.
Like blank, numerous progress. Why So on Ice 2?
Well, that is the best way. I'm trying to figure out a different way to say it than I've said it before. But essentially, I'm alive, man, and a lot of people aren't. And I may not be the biggest celebrity, but my mom loves me, and I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating for myself, my journey. And for me, it's been 25 years. It really, like, I wasn't sure if I was gonna do a 10th anniversary, a 20th anniversary, a 50th. I never had any plans. I knew at some point I may want to revisit it for the sake of self-analyzation, because these are time capsules. And so that's what it was. Like, I've always said that. Like, every record, every album, especially album, is a time capsule. And I notoriously, I would say it to my sons. I'm like, if you really want to understand me, you can just buy the first album. I'll give them to you, and you can listen one by one. You're gonna hear me talk about you, and then when I didn't like your mama, and then da-da-da-da-da, and then I fucked up, and then I like this girl. I'm like, bro, if you want to understand what makes me tick, here it goes. I've been writing about myself. It's a journal. It's an ongoing journal. It's time capsules. And so I dug up the first time capsule after 25 years, and I had to look at it, listen to it, analyze it, so I could bury this time capsule. This is 25 years of my life. It's more than 2/3 of my journey.
So this is an accumulation of knowledge that we've gained all the way up to
contrasting and comparing who I was when I wrote that stuff to what I think and who I am now.
And what do you see when you look back?
There's
1996 Ras to this. What do you see?
Well, I when I took inventory, I was like, yeah, you did a lot of the same stupid shit. You still drank and drive again. Did that shit. Put yourself in prison. Different circumstances, but still, you didn't learn from that. Fucked around with some trashy bitches, you know, maybe fucked over some good chicks. So you did that again. I'm just looking at myself, having to be honest. It's like, well, you learned this. Took you a long time to get out of this part of it, you know, the record deal part, whatever. And then, you know, so it was, a lot of it was looking inside. The rest was, you know, like external issues, society. And for me, it was like Nature the Threat. Like, how do you feel about that record? Do you feel like it's the same, or did the world get better? And then the crazy thing was, like, I answered it on the first song. I was like, you know, I literally on the first song, as I was writing it, I was like, yeah, Nature the Threat's more relevant than ever. You know, I was like, no, the world got worse. Like, this country got worse. So for me, it was that. It was just pulling out the mirror, looking at me first, and then pulling out the microscope and looking at, like, the magnifying glass, and just looking at everything. You know what I mean?
But let's talk a little bit specifics, okay? Because Nature of the Threat, right, named after a book, right?
The press papers.
Which was banned by the Supreme Court. I'm sure you knew this. You can't go and buy it anymore. You can't. I think you're a registrar now if you purchase this book, right? So the book is serious shit, right? And you're saying that now it's more relevant than ever. Do you still stand by the mentality of the book that your album is based on? Because it's very. I mean, now I can't make a joke to someone without it being something. Right? In '96, it was different, bro. It was different energy. It was an innocence to the way I talked. It wasn't considered to be, is he racist? Is he sexist? No, it was like a dude's joking his life. There was a vibe. Everyone knew that we just wanted to live.
Yeah, we have gotten more PC and some things aren't appropriate.
The victim mentality wasn't as prevalent as it is now, right? So now in this world where everybody's going to take offense and they're going to go back and they're going to Google and they're like, oh, how do you feel about?
No, that book is. I think the book was. Well, it's not before its time. It's just what it was.
Of its time. If anything, it was of its time.
Of its time, man. And the truth ain't pretty all the time. The truth don't always make you feel good. The truth is just the truth. And so, the truth ain't got a flavor to it. That record, I know why they banned it, because they don't like the truth. I mean, look, man, I'm hearing, there's things I said in Nature of the Threat that I'm starting to hear on CNN and MSNBC now, like things about white, you know, the sense of entitlement, white entitlement, blah 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 blah. There are scholars, white and black. There's a white lady that she's on the album. I got a song called White Power, and I sampled her because she summed it up so succinctly, and it was just a white woman. She's like, there's, you know, right? She's like, we're ignorant people. That's been taught an ignorant thing. The ignorant thing is that there are different races. There is no race but the human race, and some of us have tried to use it to benefit and control and exploit others. Da 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 da. And it hasn't worked out well for any of us. And that's the only where I disagree, because it did work out well for some. It worked out well for white people. It did, and because there's a wealth gap, because things, you know, houses were burned, people were lynched, people were accused of crimes they didn't commit, and property confiscated. So it has worked out, and that's the problem, is that nobody wants to look at history and see, oh, that, you know, the brown people, they didn't come to take your job. They do, you know, some of those immigrants do jobs that none of us are gonna do. We don't wanna do that shit. We ain't gonna do it. I don't wanna pick no fucking oranges. I'm just not going to do it. But we have a boogeyman. And so the boogeyman is, you're gonna bring all the cocaine and meth, and somehow that gets all the way to fucking Massachusetts. You know, it's like you making your own meth, and really these fucking, I wrote a song, it's on the album, Opioid Crisis. You guys, you killing your own self. You guys are making meth. Your fucking big pharmaceutical is addicting you. And you got a boogeyman. The boogeyman is the black guy who's gonna rape you and steal your stuff. The Mexican guy who's taking your jobs, and they're rapists too. I'm sorry, Trump called you that too. So you guys are the rapists. I'm sorry, we're something else. We're the gang members. We're gonna shoot you up, and you guys got all the dope in your butt. Yeah, you're strictly raping the dope and stealing the jobs. And then we don't work. We on the welfare, and we're gonna sell the crack. And then the Muslims are going to blow up everything, and then they're gonna turn the world, America, into Sharia law. Then the women, they shouldn't get paid the same amount because
they just want to be having babies.
Right. That's how they need to be. And the gay dudes are gonna go into the kids' bathroom. With their penises. In the girls' bathroom with their penis.
And then what's the line?
So this is all.
The line is a white man gets paid off of all of that. Who was that? Was that Lauryn Hill? Who was that? And a white man gets paid off of all of that.
I think it was Lauryn Hill.
Anyways.
So we live in this false narrative that nobody wants to look in the mirror and own up to, and if you say anything, it's uncomfortable for people because they're like, well, I didn't do it. No, bitch, but you benefited, bro. And until we understand that we all are in this together, and that your benefit has been at my loss, at my cost. How do we fix that? We never had a level playing field. You keep switching the fucking game.
So what do we do, Ras?
I don't have the answer to that, to be perfectly honest.
So as a practice, if I'm listening to Ras, what should I do with this information?
For me as a pragmatic person, my biggest goal in the past, I did dumb shit to put myself in bad situations. I'm not really sure America's the future leader that it once was. There's a world out there. And if I find the right person, I don't give a fuck.
Where would you go?
There's all kinds of amazing places.
Have you thought about that?
I have.
Where
bro, there's all kinds of, there's everywhere. But this fucking place. I like lots of places. Cape Town's amazing. Do they have problems? Fuck yeah. They just got the memo slavery was over.
Oh, okay.
Because they had apartheid.
Wow. Yeah, no doubt.
So them niggas is fucked up in the head too. Sure. Or right next to each other. They're like next door neighbors. So
they took little boats over, right?
Yeah, of course they took little boats and they was fucking on each other. That's why all the Sicilians, the Italians, and all the Southerns are the darkies.
They so much fucking blonde hair and blue eyes turn into So great Tarantino.
Yeah, exactly. He killed it. Tarantino's from C-arsonist.
What is it? Dennis?
What's the name? Yeah.
Oh man, True Romance.
True Romance.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Greatest monologue. Greatest monologue. Yeah.
Gary Oldman is the greatest actor of our generation. No one wants to talk about it. No one wants to admit that man has played a white Jamaican gangster from LA with dreads and killed it. And then it's Alfred or God, like he's a go.
He's a go.
Anyway, but let's talk about this. Very, because it's.
To answer your question, there's all kind of places, man. There's Toronto. It's popping, bro. It's different. I just don't think we're the beacon of fucking freedom and light that we once claimed. Our ability, our mobility from class and economics is like 15th. Our education is like 26th in the world. Right. We're not exceptional anymore.
But I think, and this is the thing, let me finish this.
And all our bitches is made out of plastic, and I'm gonna go get a bitch that looks just like that ain't made out of plastic.
Or no, I mean, you can choose what she looks like.
Nah.
You can kind of mold
you trust me. I always try to explain this to people. There's a place called Cape Verde. Cape Verde, which is next to Portugal and the tip of, I forgot what country that is in Africa. So you got your prototype for Brazilians. So you want a green-eyed, light-skinned girl with a fat ass, you can go Portuguese or Cape Verde, and they're Africans.
What about the food, Raz? You can't.
There's food everywhere.
What are you gonna find?
You can go to Cape Town. I'm sorry. Just hear me out. You want
Cape Town.
Do you want to nigga, that's shiny niggas. We're next to Asia. Africa's next to Asia too.
We're gonna find some
Caucasians. Asia is connected to Europe.
Yeah, but that's real. I'm talking about American, that orange chicken bullshit that's
I know. Well,
and that goo that's supposed to be orange sauce.
All this shit. I'll open it up. I'll go find some homies and bring them up over there. You can't even get good Mexican food in Texas, so I mean, look,
bro, you come on, bro, you would miss.
You act like I can't visit. I'm just saying there's lots of places to live.
I mean, populate somewhere else.
I mean, it's popping and fun other places, and it's lots of people that love hip hop. And and countries that give a fuck about their citizens.
Give me
I want a place where I can drink real water and eat real food. I do, and I don't make a lot of money to be able to pay fucking ridiculous amounts for fucking actual water and actual food. That should be a given with your citizens.
The water, at least, at the minimum, right? Should be just free. How are you charging?
I mean, even if it's not free, it shouldn't have like so much lead in it that you could build Iron Man.
Yeah.
So no, I don't want to be.
So you think these other countries are better off with their infrastructure of water and food than the U.S.?
Facts.
That's hard. Well, I guess.
Shit, I guess you need to go. You need to go travel.
I'm living. Yeah.
You need to go travel.
That's what it is.
Trust me. You drop me off. You go damn near anywhere. You go anywhere in Africa. Don't stop believing what white people tell you. You need to go see places for yourself. Africa's popping. There ain't no fucking AIDS and everybody. Niggas shit popping with buildings and bad bitches. Knock it off. Niggas getting it.
Okay.
That's the big lie that Americans tell people about places. Until you go see things for your own eyes, probably not true.
Interesting.
Very probably.
But this is what I propose to you, Raskass, as an intelligent man. This is what I tell you. I think it's starting to self-implode, and this is what I mean. I see coming up, 2020. People are not only When I was young, the store tender, right, the cashier would follow the black kid around because he was about to steal some chips or something. She would follow around the store. Now, as a grown adult in 2019, I gotta worry about a Chad over here. Had a bad childhood. He's about to shoot the fucking place up. Okay. See what I'm saying? I think they're starting to implode on their own self-hate. And this is what I mean. And it's not just talk about white because to say it's a white, no, it's the ignorance and hate that makes a person devaluate someone because they're a different color. Whatever that perception
that's the American story. You got to understand. That's what happens that's what happened to Irish people.
But there's things that are different now that are going to switch the story
in the 1920s, there'd be signs that said no dogs are Irish and Negro.
Yeah.
In the same time period in El Paso, no dogs or Mexicans. But guess what? Somebody gets in and they don't get treated bad, and then they gang up on the next one because everybody's mentality is, at least it ain't me. So then the Mexicans get okay, and they hang out with the white kids and say, well, no niggers. Because the white guy said no niggers. And then the Irish get okay, and then they get with the British kids and they say, with the WASPs, and they say, well, no fucking Italians. We don't want the fucking Italians. Then the Italians get cool, and then they say, no fucking Jews. Then the Jews get, you understand what I'm saying? Everybody's playing a fucking dick-sucking game of, at least I'm not the nigga. Even the niggas play the game of, at least I'm not the nigga. The Asians definitely do it. And then the niggas play the game and say, well, at least I ain't the Muslim. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fuck that game. Who wants to play that game forever? Because when we run out of people, they're just going to pick my people again anyway. Then they're going to pick yours. No, that's what happened with Mexicans. That's exactly what happened on this round. Same thing. I watched.
Oh, it's our turn. It's our turn on the wheel?
Oh, yeah. Well, he had to pick somebody, and you guys are easy to
Mexicans.
blame. No, and he was like, what can I... Well, there's no place.
Who can we unify to all hate towards
right.
so that you can get...
Right.
But what I'm saying is, I think it's about to change. Right?
I don't know.
And this is what I'm saying.
I was taught no matter how big of a circle you go in, you still go nowhere.
But here's the thing.
I don't want to play that game anymore.
I think the circle is about to lose its shape. I think its orbit is just a little bit, because you're already starting to see a wobble of people. Not only this, Ras, 260 shootings in 6 months in the U.S.
They still won't even call it white nationalism.
This is something that it's no longer...
They won't call it terrorism.
Denied, right? So the generation is... The kids that are getting shot, those are growing up to be the politicians of the future. And they're not here to, hey, let me ride with Trump. It's like, no, saying that generation affected by the shootings is so big that I think they're growing up.
Yeah, well, that's good for them.
But that's the next people coming up.
But I'm not from that. I'm not from that.
But they're the ones that are going those laws for you and people like us. So I'm just saying, let's not say fuck the USA. Let's see.
I didn't say fuck it. I'm
Can
just
we
saying
fix it? Can we
fuck that lifestyle when I'm a world citizen for one. I am, and I don't have. I don't think I should be obligated and negated for my growth, especially after my contributions. First of all, America doesn't support hip hop. America's got weight.
Hip hop doesn't support hip hop, and that's the problem. Let's be real. That's the bottom line. Like you just said earlier.
Right.
I've said it before. Rolling Stones will sell out a studio. Aerosmith will sell out a studio. Have Rakim sell out the Staples Center. Have Coogee Rap do the same. Hip hop doesn't go and show love to hip hop because we can all hip hop. We can all rap, right? We can all do that.
Well, they show that love in Europe, and they show it. I've done the shows I've done in South Africa, and I'd rather go where I'm appreciated. I'm not gonna come. I don't want to be a salmon that swam upstream my entire fucking life. When does the salmon just get to go eat? And whatever. You're supposed to swim upstream at the end and die and get some pussy and lay your eggs and die. This is I've been doing this shit, dodging bears and shit forever. I'm sick of this shit. So
So on Ice 2 is what then? In this pattern that you're trying.
In this pattern, this is me closing a chapter of my life and saying thank you for 25 years of a journey that I kind of want to put to bed, and it's time to grow and be.
I feel when I talk to you and I talk to certain cats that, and it's true, I know there is, and it's a lot of different ways we can go, but I feel there's something we don't know that Ras Kass found out, and he's like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and try to do this, or whatever it was that you said or saw or weren't willing to participate in or whatever. It seems that Ras is very conscious of that, and you're like, dude, if I do that, I have to go do that, and I don't want to go do that.
No, I got blackballed early. They took my late 20s to my 30s. I pissed off power that happens to be white people because I said and did things that were...
You've talked about
I may have pissed some people off with that, but it's more extenuating than that. And so, like, I say it in a song. I said... I was Kaepernick 15 years ago on some rapper shit. Banned by capitalists for being activists. And I didn't have 15 million stacks to live. Purposely destroy my career means you attack my kids. So I didn't have, I've been fucked with by this country and this government and this politics and this corniness for long enough It's a journey, man, and it's amazing people. See, when I talk about white and black here, those are constructs created in America for the most part. I don't even want to play that game because I'll tell you one thing: Polish people really aren't too fond of Russians. Yeah. Irish are really not too fond of the British.
No one likes
you understand what I'm saying? So right. So nobody likes the Turks. Nobody likes the Turks, but then it's mad Turks in Germany. Sure. So my whole shit is like Northern Italians really aren't fucking with Southern Italians. They got songs about it. So let alone
frustrating, because I don't understand it. Listen to me.
Let me finish what I'm about to say. So my point is, as a world citizen, knowing that I don't have to play stupid white and black games, why should I keep playing a fucking weak ass game that is designed for me to lose anyway? When I can go be a world citizen and go be around people that are civil and can many times appreciate you for who you are, not just this shit. And plus, I got to up. You do too. You go anywhere else, and we're Americans. Mm-hmm. See, what they understand is that we're Americans. And this is factual. You don't have to believe me. We go to Europe, and they say, how'd you fucking survive? How'd you people survive all that shit America did to you? And then American white construct goes, and they're like, stupid Americans. Stupid Irish guy comes here and goes to Ireland and starts telling us how to fucking make what the fuck we make. That's the American version. Stupid Italian guy goes to Italy and says, make my pizza with some fucking put the gamboli on it. And they're like, we don't have that. We don't make that. Shut the fuck up, stupid American. You're not. The construct of being white in America means they're whiter than Europeans. And the construct of being black in America is basically you're homeless. Because there's no country called black. We can't go there. I don't speak black. So what the fuck am I gonna do? So it's just an either or construct. Whereas every place else is a lot more nuanced than that. And so when you go to these places like Europe and all that, or Africa, they're just like, you guys make jazz, rock and roll, rap. They still fuck y'all over and shoot the shit out y'all. Wow. I like you. I'm just telling you my experiences, and I'd rather go to Canada and get treated like a human than have to sit here and keep playing. Because odds are, me and you ain't gonna get Jay-Z money and Beyonce money where you become different than Oprah money. And who wants to? I mean, what's the ticket? What's the money ticket? When do I get money and get treated like a human? How much do I have to make to get treated like a fucking human? To get some human fucking dignity and respect? Fuck that. Fuck that. Who wants to live in a place that's the only way I'll get treated like a fucking human? Fuck this place.
And I mean it. Is there a specific towards you? But if we never...
I'm talking about people, period. Yeah. People, Muslim, Mexican, Asian, gay, whoever the fuck. White kid that just wants to play video games. Leave people alone. Don't bully people. Stop fucking with people. We have a fucking country that's made up of fucking trying to always ostracize somebody. And the biggest ostracization starts with the inherent racism of our country. Then it goes into sexism and all the other isms. But the biggest benefit America had was that it had free labor. That's how it had enough money to break away from London.
So is this awareness that you want to do with Soul and I?
That's what this is about. I'm just giving, these are things I say on this album, is that, there's a world out there. And that we're not black. I got a song with CeeLo. It's called Midnight Sun. And just saying, the song says, what if I told you that you are not white and I am not black? That's a societal construct designed to whatever, confuse us or some shit, whatever. Actually, what's not your reading?
Oh, there you go. See how handy this book is? Right away. If I wanted to see a lyric, where would I go, Ras?
Yeah. What if I told you that I'm not black and you are not white? That's a societal construct created to divide us. Love is the light that guide us. The devil made spotlights to blind us. Some fear the melanin inside us, and only the better men unite us. And then I said, let me help you out. Then I said, I like this. What if I told you that you are not Latino and you are not Asian? Latin's a dead language. We all mixed through invasion. Root of all civilization, you find us. They use miseducation to bind us. Naturally strong, we survivors. Truth is the light to remind us. Yeah, there we go.
Ras Kass.
Yes, sir.
Richard.
What's up, Richie?
You are a black male. African American, black.
I'm none of those
dark
things.
Toned. You're pigment. You have a lot of pigment.
This is black. I'm not black.
What color? What are we?
I'm brown,
Caramel?
and you guys are like caramel. Yeah, you're a little caramel. I'm not black. that's what I'm saying. It's construct.
I'm gonna say you don't go out of your way. It is.
I'm a Moor. I'm a native. My people. Not all my people came on a slave ship. My people are native.
So let me toss something your way and tell me your perspective on this thought.
Okay.
It escapes me. I don't understand the race thing. I gotta tell you, I don't get it. I don't understand. This is what I mean by that. I didn't earn this color. I wasn't dawned by it. It wasn't like I
didn't get to pick it
climb a
out.
mountaintop. I didn't beat someone for it. I didn't earn it. It was like, here it is, right? I don't understand the pride and thought behind it to be to a point where it becomes
their defense mechanisms.
a prevalent
Their defense,
personality trait. So someone told me I'm black before I'm anything, bro. I'm black before I'm anything. And I'm like, really? Because before I'm brown, bro, I'm a dad, I'm a Christian, I'm a father, I'm
a human.
I'm like 20 things before I even start thinking, oh yeah, hey, by the way, I'm brown. Like, to me personally. But I understand that people very much like, yo,
because they're defense mechanisms.
But what's, at the very end of the day, it's like, your color doesn't, the mic don't care, the guitar doesn't care, the things where you actually need to attempt and do things, your skin color has nothing to do with how good
except for get a loan at a bank.
All I'm saying is, where is this pride of
but I've said this before, I don't believe in pride. I don't believe in brown pride, black pride, Asian pride, because pride is false. I believe in love and respect. I love respecting my culture and my forebears and the people before me.
Sure,
and so that's
you
different.
Want to be recognized for your accolades, right? And that's a sense of pride in that.
I mean, no.
You have a song called Grammy. Was it Acceptance or Grammy?
Grammy speech.
You and correct me if I'm wrong. The vibe to me was, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like how much?
Yeah,
how
but
much bars? How many times do I gotta kill it? How many times do I gotta walk?
But that ain't pride.
And to me, it seems like Raz is.
That's not pride.
The fact that he's frustrated and you don't fucking get it.
No, but no, that's not pride. That's just saying, I'm calling the elephant in the room. You guys are circle jerking each other and you're inferior, but that wasn't about color. Grammy speech is about, I'm better than a lot of the people you giving awards to. And you keep acting like Tupac don't exist.
Yeah.
So the same things we were talking about. That it's a circle jerk. You guys are playing politics. And you're doing corporate shit. None of y'all own the corporation, so you're circle jerking each other. And when will we start acknowledging, the dope people? Not because they got diagnosed with cancer, then you want to give somebody a fucking award because you're gonna die in 2 weeks, or because he fucking dies 2 weeks before, and now you want to give somebody an award. Like, love people while they're here. My whole thing with Grammy speech is different than the conversation we're having in the context of pride. Pride, I was always taught, is false anyway. Because guess what? A pedophile, the dude that just hung himself, the only reason why he lost his pride is because he was going to have to face the music.
Because he got caught.
Exactly. He had enough money and he was proud to be who he was. He thought it was okay. He knew, yeah, he's proud. I can buy this fucking jet. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Fucking proud. Pedophiles are always proud. I found that out, you know what I'm saying? Until they get caught. Because everybody, human beings have the power of rationalization. So all these isms, racism, sexism, are created defense mechanisms and ways to at least be able to rationalize why you dehumanize somebody. So
he doesn't like me because I'm this color. You don't like me because
I don't like you because you're not like me, and I have to feel better if I disenfranchise you. Look, bro, the one thing about racism is the ironic part is the rape that goes in. And I always said, well, if somebody's not good enough for you and you don't want their dirty genetics, why would you put your dick in her? None of it makes sense because it's not based on factual shit.
Right. It's
not factual. It's not reality. And we live in an alternative.
It's right. Yeah. It's core. It's really just ignorance.
It's greed and fear.
Yeah.
I want what you got. So you're the red jerseys. We can be twin brothers. There was tribalism before we had. That's the whole metaphor of the Bible with Cain and Abel. Yeah. Jealousy. We can be the brothers, and we'll find a way not to like each other if I want something from you.
The other day I was reading that story, and it took me a minute to realize that there was 3 or 4 people on the planet, and then one of them kills the other one.
And then he went out and got kicked out and found a bitch.
But outside, I'm thinking, bro, there's 4 people. There's literally 4 of you motherfuckers on this earth, and this guy kills that dude. Like, you could not even 50 deep or like 100 deep, or they were like uncomfortable.
Well, I mean,
it was just like, this dude killed it. Like, there's 3 people, dog.
The one is your mom.
Killing.
Right.
Oh, again, there's still. I'm just like, it took us, what, 2 years to find murder? To start killing each other? Like, I don't know how old they were. 11, 12, I don't know.
Well, the point of that
is... the guy kills the other guy. There's like 3 people. So I'm saying, like, at lunch, when you know, it's like Eve, and it's like Adam, and it's like Cain, and it's like, so where's Abel?
Like, I don't know. That snake, baby.
Take off with some people. Who?
That snake.
Just the story of us just killing each other 3 people deep really speaks about human nature.
Right. And so, you know, I just think love, respect for who you are is better. I love me enough to know that because I may not attain the monetary value necessary to be treated the way I want to be treated in America. I deserve, you know, I may not ever attain in life the respect that I think I deserve as an MC. I mean, behind closed doors, what C-arsonist did for me speaks volumes and warmed me more. Just talking about my book, man, because there's so many other MCs that I may have done positive things for and helped in my life that have turned their back and act like I don't exist because it's not politically beneficial to them at this point to speak my name. So it's nice for somebody who doesn't benefit necessarily to say, I respect and see what you're doing and you always do a good job and there you go. And you know, because we all want to be acknowledged for when we give 110%, you know what I'm saying, and we do a good job. And I don't think I don't think we live in a, you call it best, hip hop don't support hip hop, and unfortunately, hip hop, it has a lot more support in Europe, and a lot more support in Canada, and a lot more support in Japan. And I'm gonna go where they support me. I have to. That's just fiscal. For me, it's a business decision. Yeah.
No, and before we narrow it down, let's say Ras Kass, you wake up, got magic powers. Like, you're able to wave this wand. What do you want to see in hip hop happen? Like, what if you could do that? What do you? How would you like to see it preserved or left or?
I mean, honestly, we'd unionize. BET would exist, owned by let's just say 4 people that care about the culture, and I don't have a color to that. No, maybe for BET. Maybe the BET owned by 2 black people, you know, because I don't like Telemundo being owned by Viacom because those companies don't have your best interest at heart. Viacom, and I don't like, you know, BET being owned by Viacom because you don't care about, because Jewish television is owned by Jewish people. You know, you understand what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Like, if you don't own your own shit, then you have somebody that may or may not have your best interest, and 9 times out of 10, they just want the money, and they don't have your best interest. So BET is a mockery of black entertainment. We lost they used to have fucking news shows. They used to have teen news shows, Tavis Smiley and whatever. So and there was a way that they promoted. There was Jamaican music. There was jazz shows. There was gospel shows. There were hip hop shows. There was Southern hip hop shows. Now it's just, if you don't fit to this, and it ain't really even no music.
Did they turn into basically what MTV did and just all reality TV?
Yeah, reality TV and coonery.
Music, television, we're not going to play any music. It's just going to be Kardashian reruns and fucking Dr. Oz, and that's all you can watch because that's what dumb people are going to be watching on loop. And then they still have music awards, MTV Music Awards. Where are you playing these fucking music awards, MTV? The respect of music is gone. The respect towards hip hop is gone because you also don't feel we give ourselves to be respected a lot of the times. So you can't be going around, you can't call us, well, fucking act your age a little bit. Can we mature? Can we grow as a culture? Can we do this? But Raz, you're leaving us in good hands, and I hope it's not forthcoming, right? Like you're not like, hey man, next year, bro, I'm not gonna.
I don't have a wife yet, but if I
oh, is that a requisite? Like, do you like once I get married, once I get these boxes checked, you're gonna?
I mean, I have a weird feeling I'm gonna meet I'm whatever. Probably gonna be a chick somewhere, not in this country. Odds are that I end up, and then we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So Solo on Ice 2 is out now. Let's talk about that. Where, when, and everything.
Solo on Ice is the book is available now. It just shipped starting today. The actual album is not really out. A few people got some advanced copies, so lucky for you. The album really comes out September 6th. And so...
collabos? Performance? Anybody that we could expect to hear on there?
On this album, man,
it's hard to find someone to spit with that.
No. I just don't like. I don't like certain.
It's super hard to find someone to spit with.
Nah, man. I'm such a fan of so many people. I mean, look. My homegirl from South Africa is on here. Her name is C-arsonist. My son Taj Austin is on here. My homeboy from Atlanta, The Now, is on here. Styles P from The Locks, Fame MOP, Everlast, CeeLo Green, Immortal Technique, J-Mo Gang, Pete Rock, Justice League, DJ Green Lantern, Diamond D. It's a lot of amazing people on here, man. Like, they've helped me put it. It doesn't sound like I had a billion features, but everybody is here for a reason, and they made the record become what it needed to be. So I'm just thankful that every single person that contributed to this record, because it's special to me, and hopefully I hope it's special to y'all.
Raskass.com or where do you?
Oh yeah, so if you go to my Instagram, RAS_KASS, I literally in my bio, it's a campsite bio link. And when you click that, it'll literally show you everything. It'll go to like the Bandcamp, for vinyl, you can buy the physical book, you get the ebook, you can go to the merch. So just click that thing in my bio, and like 9 different things will open up. You can pick whatever you want. Yeah.
Ras motherfucking Kass.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Excuse my sweaty hand. I've been, rapid
It's an honor. You can't remember washing this hand again.
Oh, that's sweet.
No. For Ras Kass, please, can we make hip hop great again, please? That would
Wake the fuck up, wake the fuck up, wake the fuck up. Everybody wake the fuck up. From the city to the burbs, every street, every curve. You can block what you heard, that's the cure. Wake the fuck up, wake the fuck up, wake the fuck up, wake the fuck up. Everybody wake the fuck up. From the city to the burbs, every street, every curve. You can block what you heard, that's the cure. Wake the fuck up, wake the fuck up, wake the fuck up, wake the fuck up. Everybody wake the fuck up.